What's up guys, Saf here on SuperSaf TV, and we've got here the brand new 2020 13-inch MacBook Pro. Let's go ahead, get it unboxed and take a closer look. Right, so there's a picture of the 13-inch MacBook Pro here at the front. You can remove the lid. All right. Now this is the space gray version, but there is also a silver version available. And also inside the box, we do have a USB Type-C to USB Type-C cable, some paperwork which does include some space gray Apple stickers, and then we've got a 61-watt USB-C power adapter. Now let's get to the laptop, and for someone who uses the 16-inch MacBook Pro, this does feel a lot smaller. Now it's around 1.4 kg, which is a little bit more compared to the previous generation, but we do have a slightly larger battery. And in terms of the size, the width and the depth is exactly the same as the previous generation. However, this is ever so slightly thicker. That is for a good reason, and that is of course the new Magic Keyboard. Now the 13-inch MacBook Pro is the final MacBook in Apple's line to get the Magic Keyboard update, and that does mean goodbye to the butterfly keyboard. Moment of silence for the butterfly keyboard. Actually no, I'm pretty sure everybody's glad that we've got this new keyboard. It just feels so much better. We've got the scissor mechanism, 1mm of key travel, and from somebody who's been using the 16-inch MacBook Pro for 6, 7, maybe 8 months. It's hard to keep track of time with the lockdown, but from somebody who's been using the 16-inch MacBook Pro for quite some time, I can tell you that the typing experience is really good. I've got no complaints. A few of the things with the keyboard, we do have the touch bar with Touch ID, but the escape key is now separate, so it's actually a physical key. And then we have the inverted T arrangement for the arrow keys here too. Now a few things have not changed. The display is pretty much the same as what we had in the previous generation. So it's a 13-inch LED backlit IPS panel, up to 500 nits of brightness. I know a lot of people were hoping for a 14-inch MacBook Pro, which would have smaller bezels and maybe slightly larger, but this is something that hasn't changed. Another thing that hasn't changed, and I'm pretty disappointed about, is the FaceTime HD camera. It's still 720p, and you know, this is something that I've been talking about for a long time. I just wish Apple did upgrade this, especially considering how much more video calls are important these days. Now we do have lots of updates on the internals. Now I'm going to try to break this down in the best way that I can. So the 13-inch MacBook Pro is available with either an 8th gen Intel Core processor or a 10th gen Intel Core processor. Now both of these do come with double the amount of storage that you would have had compared to the previous generation. So the 8th gen base model does come with 256 GB of SSD storage, but that can be configured up to 2 TB. It also comes with a base of 8 GB of LPDDR4X RAM, which can be configured up to 16 GB. It has Intel Iris Plus graphics 645 with 2 Thunderbolt 3 ports, and it starts at £1,300 or $1,300. Now, when we move over on to the 10th gen, you can either get an i5 or an i7 version. Storage starts at 512 GB, configurable up to 4 TB, which is absolutely awesome for this size laptop. 16 GB of LPDDR4X RAM, so you've got faster RAM. This is configurable up to 32 GB. Intel Iris Plus graphics and 4 Thunderbolt 3 USB-C ports, 2 on either side. And this starts at around £1,800 or dollars. Of course, the higher configurations you go for, the higher the price is going to be. Now, which one of these you go for is really going to depend on your workflow. If you are somebody who does maybe some light image and video editing, then the 8th gen might just be fine. But if you are somebody who does something a little bit more heavy, then I definitely recommend going for the 10th gen version. Now, apart from that, we do have a large Force Touch trackpad, which works really well. We've got improved stereo speakers with Dolby Atmos and a 3 mic array. as well as a 3.5mm jack. And for software, of course, we do have the latest macOS Catalina, and we've got around about a 58 watt-hour battery. Now, I know a question that a lot of people will be asking is, should they get this or the MacBook Air? And that is a very good question, and although the MacBook Air is roughly about the same size in terms of dimensions, it is lighter and it is starting at a cheaper price. And I think, again, it comes down to your workflow. If you're somebody who's not really going to be doing any heavy tasks, then I think the MacBook Air is going to be absolutely fine for you. But if you are somebody who maybe does some video image editing, then the MacBook Pro 13-inch is going to be that better option. It's got a brighter, more color accurate display. It's also got 2 fans, which is going to mean better cooling as well as better sustained performance. However, as mentioned earlier on, if you are anybody who's going to be doing any serious video graphic editing, then I would recommend going for the 10th gen version. And there we have it, guys. That is the new 2020 13-inch MacBook Pro. I know it's something that a lot of people were waiting for, especially with that updated keyboard. If you are waiting for a 14-inch MacBook Pro, then that is not going to be coming anytime soon. What do you guys think of the 13-inch MacBook Pro? Are you going to be picking one up? Is there any other further coverage that you'd like me to do with it? Definitely drop me a comment below and let me know your thoughts. I hope you enjoyed this video and found it useful. If you did, then do hit that thumbs up button for me. And if you haven't already, then be sure to subscribe and hit that bell icon so you don't miss any future coverage. Thanks for watching. This is Saf on SuperSaf TV, and I'll see you next time.